Ha! That looked alarmingly like a dab. Welcome to another day in isolation. It's moving into week 4 now. Luckily, being a gym owner, I can keep the environment controlled, so I'm still allowed to come in and train in my own facility, lift. Things have been going well, therefore, for me. I have been doing some home workouts as well. I do anyway. They tend to be more mobility and sort of fitness and conditioning focused. And obviously, I'm still very, very lucky that we're able to get outside and do the cardio that I need to do in terms of my cycling, my running, my hill runs, and then the occasional swim in the reservoirs as well when it's nice and warm outside. But what I thought to do today is take you through a typical upper body workout for me. So at the moment, I'm in an off-season phase, as it looks like all my events will be cancelled. So at the moment, I think my next event is going to be a sprint triathlon at the end of August, then the GPC Pro Powerlifting meet at Fit Expo in Liverpool in September, towards the end of September, and then the Sterling Marathon at the start of October, or kind of mid-October. Again, who knows? At this point, nobody's sure, but we shall see. If the powerlifting meet gets cancelled and the expo gets cancelled in September, I'll likely just roll that through into doing the WPC European Championships at Body Power, which has been rearranged for October, provided the dates don't clash with the Sterling Marathon. So normally I would be doing competition grip everything, but because it's off season, I've taken my grip in to work on my weak point, which tends to be mid-range towards lockout. So normally in competition, I would grip the bar, middle finger on the rings here, but what I'm doing today and in my off season is bring my grip in a bit narrower to put a bit more emphasis on the triceps as opposed to everything else. So we'll get going. Just one point. When I'm doing bench, I like to do a lot of mobility and a lot of movement-based stuff for my lower body whilst I'm warming up and whilst I've got my rest periods. Typically up into a competition, you can have sort of rest periods that are 5, 6 or 7 minutes long. So it's an ideal time to get a little bit of mobility in. So I shall take you through a time lapse and you shall see me doing some very weird things that definitely aren't bench press. Do not be alarmed, there is a purpose. So we shall commence the time lapse in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
I've been fighting everything you say. I've been trying to go the other way, but I can't seem to get you out of my head, out of my head. I've been fighting everything you'll be, 'cause everything you'll be is changing me, and I can't seem to get you out of my head, out of my head. I got time for you, I got time for you, so be mine. Would you give me time to give it all to you? Give it.
Top single done. But Andy, that looked remarkably easy for a top single. Yes, it did, you're right. Thank you for noticing how incredibly strong I am. In an off-season phase like this, the goal is not to absolutely destroy myself with the weights. I know how much I can bench. I don't need to prove it every time I come into the gym, and it only matters what I bench in competition. So the goal of this phase of training is quite simple. The goal of this phase of training is to work on weak points, which should be done sub-maximally. You don't need to take every set to failure from a powerlifting perspective. That can be a useful tool for bodybuilding, but again, it's not the be-all and end-all. So the idea is quality movement patterns under sufficient load to provoke a stimulus whilst not detracting from the cardiovascular side of my training. So top single today was 140. I'll increase that to 142.5 next week. And now I've got 4 sets of 5 at 120 kilos. So I shall check in with you on the last set.
Let me give it all to you. Let me give it all to you.
That was good. Next up, exercise 2. Close grip bench, again, just hit my triceps more and more. So my last comp, my bench went like this. So equal my comp PB, and with all the swimming that I've been doing, I was really happy with that. I was hitting, on average, I think it was about 1,600 meters a week in the pool in the run up to that comp, but as you can see, when I tried the 175, things didn't quite go to plan. And again, it's that point just off my chest. Now again, I tried something a little bit different for this comp, because that's what the goal was. The goal was to just try stuff, figure stuff out. And so I tried lots of board pressing. Definitely worked, I definitely felt a lot stronger, but it's still just that little bit in the midpoint as the triceps kick in. So that is what the close grip stuff is for. So I will bash on with that. I'll probably show you a set or so. And then yeah, I will catch up with you on the other side.
Cause everything you be is changing me, and I can't seem to
And done.
get you out.
And Titan's decided to join me. Yeah. Eh? So now we're on to that's bench, close grip bench done. Triceps feeling suitably fatigued. Now we're on to kind of scapular and shoulder stuff. Lots of exercises that are really good for when I'm on my bike, down on the aero bars, and for keeping shoulder health and shoulder function optional. Keeping shoulder health and shoulder function optimal, that's the right word, when I am swimming. So I will crack on with those, get those filmed, and let you have a little look. So these are quite probably my favourite shoulder variation. It's a standard seated dumbbell press, except you take the back away. And what I'm really focusing on is getting full extension overhead, getting my head right through the movement, and making sure that I stay up tall, keep my core braced, keep good control of my scap. So 12 reps with these. Since I've implemented these, I've definitely noticed the benefit to my swimming, my shoulder stability on the initial kind of catch and pull phase of the crawl stroke. So yeah, I will give you a quick demo. Always watch out for doggos when you're putting dumbbells down in a closed gym. There are elements of hypertrophy that are present in my training almost all year round, whether that is through drop sets, whether that is through sets to failure, whether that is through overload eccentrics, or whether that is through good old-fashioned classic 8 to 15 rep hypertrophy range. It is in there. A lot of my hypertrophy work is unilateral as well, because I feel this helps me prevent any imbalances. Everyone has imbalances, nobody is perfect, but what you can do is at least minimize the impact, the potential negative impact that those imbalances might have. So one of my favorites is an underhand tricep extension. This is a way of doing tricep extensions that most people simply won't go into. Most people, you see the classic hands neutral and just down to here, potentially bent over like that. With an underhand one, I start off up here, and then one of the functions of the tricep is to actually pull the shoulder back into extension. So by starting from up here, pulling down, and then moving through into extension, I can get a full action and a full function of the tricep through the set. So we'll give it a bash, 15 reps on each side, nice and light, it's all about squeeze. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that those last two exercises were not in fact tricep extension. Clever, good observational skills. Like I said, there is an element of other stuff in my training. Just because it is an upper body day doesn't mean that's all I'm going to be doing. Some weak points of mine, or relative weak points when it comes to triathlon performance, are core endurance on the time trial bike, specifically in the aero position, hence the crunches. And then just generally, since breaking my leg, I've had a lot of problems with my calves. So I like to do low volume, high frequency, slow reps with a good contraction on my calves as often as possible. Boy, I'm out of breath, that's silly. And then I like to do skipping as well. So what you'll see next is my next variation of tricep exercise, which again, going back to the theme of taking your muscles through full range of motion, different angles, different variations, is a unilateral behind the neck overhead tricep extension. And that looks like this. And that is what it looks like. You can kind of call it the samurai if you want, because it's kind of like you're a badass getting your sword out, but you know, that would just be a little bit too much. So that, I'm going to do more crunches and calf raises now. That's pretty much my session done. So we've covered my specific weak points, we've covered the reasons why I'm doing those things, and then what you'll see is over time how that session progresses and becomes much more competition specific. So hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, let me know. As always, happy to help. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. But chances are if you're watching this video, you found it from Instagram. And if you haven't, congratulations, because I'm going to be buried deep in the mass of unpopular YouTubers right now. But that will change. So I will catch up with you. My dog's licking my foot. Come here, be a prop. We will catch up with you next time. Make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, otherwise Titan will cry and we don't want that. And I will see you in the near future. Goodbye.